Hey everybody, welcome to Yoga with Maria. I'm Maria and today we've got a Yoga for Beginners practice, and this is a practice that will just help you get moving and get into your body. And if you're new to my channel, I'll familiarize you with some of my cues and the way that I teach. So grab a mat, grab 2 blocks, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Let's get started. All right, yogis, come to this space that you've set up, or your mat, have your 2 blocks, and then come to sit down and just find Dandasana, an easy seated pose. Legs are long in front of you, hands pressed down by the hips, flex the feet. Yeah, just a nice seated kind of tall position here. And then lean back, take the hands back behind you and cross the shins. So the right shin's gonna go in front. This is called Sukhasana, translates to easy pose. Good, and then reach the arms up and overhead, wiggle the sides of the waist long. And turn to your right, so the left hand comes to your right knee. Just an easy twist, again, keeping the integrity in the sides of the waist, keeping them nice and long. And then from here, let your left elbow sink down towards the left knee, and the right arm's gonna reach up and over, so you feel a nice side opening on the right side of the body. And if you feel like you're collapsing a lot in this seat and it's hard to sit on the floor like this, grab a blanket or a pillow from the couch and wedge it underneath your seat. Try to keep the right hip pressing down as you reach the right hand up and over. And then bring the right hand down and turn back to center. Lean back again, take the hands behind you, fingertips face forward, uncross the feet, step the feet down, and then lift the hips up. Knees move towards the toes, let the head fall back. Just look straight up towards the ceiling or the sky. And then sit the hips back down, cross the left shin in front back to Sukhasana. Again, you can just lift up this seat with a little blanket or pillow if it's hard to sit like this. Breathe in and reach the arms up, wiggle the sides of the waist long. And turn to the left. Right hand comes to the left knee. The elbows kind of move away from each other, so we find this nice broadness in the upper back. Yeah, and keep the feet a little active, flexing the feet just gently. And then let this right elbow sink down towards your right knee, and the left arm's gonna reach up and over the ear. So you'll feel a nice big opening in the left side of the body here. Yeah, keep looking over to the left. And then try not to hold the breath, just keep breathing. And take the left hand back down and turn towards center. Hands come back behind you. Again, fingertips face forward, uncross the feet, step the feet down, and then lift the hips up. Knees come towards the toes. Let the head fall back. Look up towards the sky. And let the seat come back down. From here, you're gonna cross the ankles and just roll over the feet. Find hands and knees. So set yourself up here. Make sure that the shoulders are over the wrist, the hips are over the knees. And then tuck your left toe back behind you. Spin to the inner edge of the foot, and then press down through your right hand. Lift your left arm up. If it feels better and more stable to take the hand to the hip, you can do that. Otherwise, take the hand up towards the ceiling. So you've got a nice long line from the right hand on the floor all the way through the chest. Reach the left fingertips up. And then if it's available, you might take the arm up and over the ear. So try it and see if you can, and then take the gaze up and underneath the left armpit. Again, only if there's strain in the neck, only if it doesn't strain in the neck. So if it feels crunchy to turn the head up, just look straight in front of you. We're really going for the opening on the side waist here. We're working on some side plank work, some opening of the side body. So this is a supported side plank right here. And then come back to hands and knees. So the left knee comes next to the right. And you're gonna take this left hand and just thread it or swipe it behind your right wrist. And then you'll lower all the way so that the left shoulder comes to the mat, the left cheek comes to the mat. So you're twisting over to the right. And then walk the fingertips, the right fingertips forward. You can kind of tent the fingers and keep turning the chest or the sternum bone to the right here. Continue breathing, continue staying with the breath. And then walk the right hand back, press into the hand to bring yourself back. You can kind of unwind and take this left arm either up or to the side and bring the hand down. From here, tuck your right toes behind you and turn the heel down so you're balancing on the inner edge of the foot. If it feels better to seal the whole foot to the mat, you can do that too. And then take your attention to the left hand, press it down, and then take the right hand to the right waist. Pause here. If you can go a little further, take the right hand up. And then if you can go further from here, take the right hand up and over the ear, gaze comes up and underneath the armpit, and then feel the kind of opposition of the outer edge of the right foot pressing down and the right fingertips reaching in the complete opposite direction. So you're getting really long on the right side. And then just come back to hands and knees. Right knee comes next to the left, and then pick up your right hand, take the back of the hand towards the floor of the mat and slide it behind the left wrist. Right shoulder, right cheek comes to the mat. And then once you're settled on the ground, you can walk the left hand forward, maybe tent the fingertips and turn the sternum and the chest towards the left. A nice little twist here. And walk the left hand back, press down and unwind. You can take the right hand to the side or up, kind of reversing that motion, and find hands and knees. Cool. Bring the inner edges of the feet together. You can kind of look down and back at your feet and tuck your toes. And then sink the hips back. Keep walking the hands back and then come to stand on the tops of the balls of the feet. Knees go wide here. And then you're going to be in a yogi squat. So you can use the hands to kind of walk yourself back. And then take the hands forward, let the head fall heavy. The knees go as wide as you'll allow them, and then the heels kind of sink heavy as well as the hips. From here, look forward and pull yourself forward, bring the knees back to the mat, untuck the toes. Come to stand on the knees. Take the hands to the waist and then step your right foot forward. You're going to sink the hips forward. The torso comes forward as well, and then the hands are going to come to the mat, framing your right foot. If the hands don't reach, that's where you'll take the blocks underneath the hands. From here, tuck your left toe and lift your left knee. So you're now in a low lunge, and you might feel kind of an opening in the groin area and the inner edge of the back leg and the inner edge of the front leg. And then from here, begin to reach your right arm up. Take your hand to the thigh and just stick the thumb right in the hip crease and allow that as leverage to kind of turn the chest over towards the right. Good, and from here, if you have the hand up, take your hand a little bit closer to the knee. If the block is in the way, you're gonna move it forward. And then you're gonna turn this right toe to the right, and then you're gonna kind of wiggle or heel toe the foot all the way, about halfway down the right edge of your mat. From here, you're gonna let the left heel turn to the left, so you're gonna balance on the outer edge of your left foot and reach your right arm up. This is another version of supported side plank. And then right arm reaches up and over the ear. And good, bring both hands to the mat if you can, and step to plank pose. The right foot steps back, top of a push-up here, and just bring the knees back to the mat. Come to stand on the knees. Take your left foot forward. Shift the hips forward, bring your torso towards the knee, and then take the hands to the mat. Again, if the hands don't reach the mat here, take your hands to blocks. Tuck your right toe and lift your back knee up. So you're in a low lunge here. And then see if you can press the right hand down into the mat. You'll lean a little to the right so that you can find a low lunge twist. Go ahead and take the left hand up for a moment, and then take the left thumb to the left hip crease and just gently press down on this left hip as you turn. So you can kind of use it as leverage to turn the chest as you hold the leg in place. And then take this left hand a little bit closer to the right knee and begin to turn the left toes to the left, and you're going to heel toe them halfway down the left edge of the mat, and this will naturally make you want to drop your right heel out. So you're balancing on the outer edge of your right foot. Reach your left arm up, supported side plank. Lift the hips. Yeah, so you're pressing through this left foot to lift the hips, then reach the arm up and over the ear. Beautiful work. And bring the left hand down, step your left foot back, plank pose, and lower the knees to the mat. From here, tuck the toes. Lean back, find yogi squat again, malasana. Take the knees wide, let the hips sink down towards the floor, the heels sink down, and the hands reach forward. Shake the head no here. And then come back to hands and knees. Just tap the knees down. Hands walk forward a hand print or two, and tuck your toes. This time we're going to come to downward facing dog. So the toes tuck, the hips lift up, and then go ahead and pedal the feet a bunch here. So bending, nice big healthy bends in either knee, alternating. Shake the head no. Open and close the mouth. Yeah, and then find a nice bend in the knees here. So no strain in the hamstrings. Look forward at the hands and just move your right hand a little bit more towards the middle of the mat. And then from here, make sure you've got about 3 or 4 inches separating, maybe even 5 inches separating the toes. And then from here, you're gonna come forward and put more weight on this right hand and just let both heels fall over to the right. And then lift your left arm up. Maybe you take it to the hip. So we're in a side plank, another variation. Both feet are on the mat, so we're not stacking the feet yet at all. We just have one foot in front of the other. It should give you a little bit more balance and support. Put a little softness in your supporting arm so that you're not holding yourself up with the joints and you're using the muscle. Reach the arm over the ear if you can, and come back to plank pose and downward facing dog. Hips lift up. Keep the nice big bend in the knees. Beautiful work. Look forward. Take the left hand a little bit more to the middle. Keep the feet wide-ish. And then bring the torso forward. So you're bringing weight or bringing the shoulder closer to over the fingertips. Let both heels fall to the left. And then this right hand, you can kind of play with keeping the pads of the fingers on the mat and then see if you can lift the hand to the hip. From here, maybe the arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Soften your left elbow so that you are holding yourself up with the muscle, not the joint. So it might feel like you're bending it, but if you tend to hyperextend, it'll just be straight. Reach this right arm up and over the ear if you can, and lift the hips as you do this. So you have a big, nice open stretch on the right side. Come to plank and downward facing dog. Bring your knees to the mat. Beautiful work. Cross the ankles behind you, roll over the feet. Let's place the feet down to the mat. Bring your blocks so that they're about halfway. And roll yourself down to the mat here. From here, take a block on the lowest, flattest setting. Lift up the hips and place a block underneath the sacrum. So it's not the lumbar spine, the curve in the low back. It's lower than that on the bony triangular part of your lower spine, just above the tailbone. So it'll be like kind of right underneath the pelvis. So if you find your hip bones or your pelvic bones, if you drew your fingers down, you'll likely hit the block or the front edge of the block. And then just let the hands or the arms lay long by the sides. Open and close the mouth. Soften the eyebrows, soften the eyes. Be grateful to your body for this work that we just did. And then lift the hips up and remove the block. Bring the hips back to the mat. Separate the feet hip width distance here. And then just let the knees fall to the right and then fall to the left. So you're just kind of windshield wipering the knees a few times here. And then bring the knees to the center so they're pointing straight up, and just let both knees knock in on one another. Take one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. And find a few moments of stillness that is a part of every yoga practice. Notice the body breathing into your hands. Allow the body to kind of unwind, to come down from this work that we just did. With each exhale, see if you can let go of something. Maybe you're just letting go of this practice. Maybe this practice felt frustrating. Try to let that go. Maybe something happened today that was hard, that was difficult. Try to let that go. Maybe you're anticipating something coming after your time with this video, with this practice. Also, see if you can let that go. See if you can tune your attention in just to the breath, just to the hands on the belly and the heart. And see if you can find something that you're grateful for right here in this moment, in this reality that you're laying in and sitting in right now. Take a few more moments here. I'm gonna sign off. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yoga for Beginners, I love having you. Namaste, yogis. Great work today. If you're looking for more beginner videos and practices, make sure not to miss my Yoga for Beginners playlist right here on my channel. And I recommend you starting out with my 10-minute Yoga for Beginners video. Give it a watch and I'll see you there.